Hello everyone, this is Aaron again. I'm here today to do something that I said I would never do again. Quite a few videos ago, I think when I got my last P15, I said this is absolutely positively my last gun because I didn't have the P15 in all three calibers. And I said this is absolutely, a lot of people laughed and said, oh sure Aaron, sure it is, sure it is. And I guess they knew more than I knew. But at that time I did not know that the P15 was about to evolve some years later into the P35. And so when I saw this gun, I said, you know, I've been shooting this P15 in 177. For 3 years I think it's been, I've been shooting this gun every pesting session for a few. Go back and look at my videos. It's P15, 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 and 177, P15 and 177. I know I put at least 3,000 to 5,000 rounds through that thing, and it hasn't missed a beat. And I'm saying that because there were a lot of people that were coming back saying, oh, it's a cheap gun, you got FXs, those are the best guns in the world, why don't you just shoot those and not get these little cheap guns? And I won't get into the repair history of the FXs, but I will say this to you. My P15s, all of them, I've shot a lot, but nothing like I put that little 177 through. I mean, go back and look at the pesting video. That thing is dead accurate. After all this time, hasn't missed a beat. Only had one problem with it, and that is it had a little leak around the field port. And I did a video that to tell you guys how to fix it in case yours did that. Okay, so this little $460 gun or whatever I paid for it at the time has operated for 3 years, deadly as hell, and never had a problem. So all that stuff about quality and that sort of thing, you can stick it because it's just not this case. But also, when I bought the gun, let me say this, I was not dumb. When I bought the gun, I knew the gun was in its third generation. Okay, I researched before I buy even the cheap guns, as you guys would call it. And if you know anything about that brand, they came out with the P10, then they upgraded the P10 to the P12, and a lot of people are still shooting that P12. It's a single shot, single loader. And then they came out with the P15. I did not want the single loader, but when they came out with the P15 with the cocking magazine, then I had to have it. And so I've had that, and now this is the 4th edition of it. Artemis, but then again, I saw that thing with so many names being sold in so many places. But now it's the Snow Peak with the Artemis line. So this is the P line now. So the P10, P12, P15, and now the P35. Okay, now let me just tell you a little bit about this before I open it up and we take a look at what's inside the box. All right, and I might want to say this to you also about people who said the gun is no good. This company has been around since 1976. Okay, and so I put a little trust in someone that's been around that long, making something that long, and doing different models of it. 4 different models to be exact. So, you know, but let's talk about it. One thing I know about this gun is this, and all the guns. This thing has a 2-stage trigger. Okay, and the 2-stage triggers, as you know, come in top of the line guns. Most of them are single stage when you get out there. 2-stage trigger, and it's totally adjustable. So I'm going to adjust this thing down to probably 1 pound or just below 1 pound. So when I tap it, there's no gun shake when I want to shoot it. Okay, the thing that I bought it for was, one, it was a new edition, and 2, it still have the lever back here, like in the P10, the P12, and the P15. They've now moved it up here, and now it has a cocking lever up here. And I just thought that would be very, very nice. Instead of reaching back here after every shot, I could now shoot, come up, and do it much easier and much more efficiently that way. So that was another thing that got me about the gun. Let me just tell you a little bit about this thing, besides the great trigger on it and the fact that I love the side cocking lever. Okay, I decided to get the 177. Okay, but it also comes in 22 and 25 caliber. But I got to 177 because, as I just said, my P15 has been put through the ringer. And one of these days, it will fail. Everything has to. It's going to fail. And when it does, if I'm going to keep going out there and pesting, I'm going to need a backup. I bought this thing here to be the backup to my P15 once I get it all set up and scoped up and dialed in. So that was one of the things that made me get it. The gun itself, this thing here shoots at 1,000 feet per second, which is a little fast for me. I don't like my guns shoot out. When I'm pesting, give me 800 to 900, and the closer to 800 the better. 820, I take 820, 830 all day long, because that little loss of a few feet per second is going to help me in terms of bird penetration and pellet pass through. Okay, so I can get it down a little bit further. I get it down. If I get it just under 800, I would do it, because I'm not shooting up. Longest shots I take are 150, and I'm not serious on those. A lot of times I'm shooting into the wind and all that, and the 177 can get moved by your breath almost. But most of my shots are 30 yards, and 30 yards, that pellet's going to be stable as hell, moving at 800 feet per second. So, but anyway, 1,000. I'm probably going to try to dial that down a little bit. Now it had the bottle on it. The air bottle on this thing is 265 cc. That's quite a bit of air, especially when you consider that this thing fuel pressure is 3,600. 3,600. Okay, I don't know. It may be a titanium bottle on it, but with the fact that it holds that much air, and at the same time it can withstand those pressures, you're gonna get a lot of shots out of this thing. You know, you fill it up to 3,600 psi, and you go out and field. You can go out there and shoot pretty much all day long, and come home and still be on the rig. Okay, under the rig. So that is that is something I just think is really, really great about this. Another thing about this little gun, this thing is regulated. Now, when I got my other gun, I was talking about the regulator in it. People were saying to me, "Oh, that old cheap gun, the regulator, get a humor, get a humor." Let me say this. Look at my videos, you'll see that this thing here, shot spread, is right there with any other gun you want to compare it to in terms of the shot spread. So there is no need to go in here messing with this regulator. This regulator does its job. And I'm thinking this, if this is the 4th generation of this regulator and one of my P15 is doing that well, this thing here is going to do as well or better. That's what I'm thinking. But you know, full disclosure, if I have any problem with this gun, I'm going to come online and talk about it, because people might buy it, and I want to be able to say, I'm going to give you a heads up if I run into any problems. Okay, it comes with 1 magazine. Now that's a down. To me, that's a downer a little bit, only because of this. All the rest of them came with 2 magazines. So if I had known that, I would have ordered one. So I got to order another magazine for this. But the magazine holds, in the 177 anyway, holds 11 shots. So 22 shots would be great for me, because one of the things I hate is when I'm pesting, you run out, and all of a sudden you got to stop shooting and try to take 3 or 4 minutes or whatever it takes to refill that magazine. So 2 of those with 22 shots, and it will do it for me. Okay. Another thing I like about this gun is that on my other guns I had to take that wood and paint it black. And a lot of people got on me about that. That's perfectly good wood. Why are you painting it back and ruining it? Well, you can't ruin wood. That's one nice thing about it. You can sand it and you can sand it and redo it and make it look just the way it did or even better. But I like my guns black. When I'm in the field, I want it black. I don't want that thing to have any other color around it but black. I don't need anything that's showing movement to anything that I'm trying to go after. If I'm moving around like this, I'm hoping that gun just blends right into the dark background. But this one is a synthetic stock, so I'm really excited to see how that plays out. And that they may have done that to lighten the gun a little bit. I don't know. We'll see when we take a closer look at it. Now the gun weighs 5.3 pounds. The P15 comes in just under that, but I think that's because of the extra weight of the cocking lever that's been added to this gun. Now the length of it is about 25 inches. So it's in keeping with all the rest of the guns. It's a little short little fella. And what I like about that is when I am driving around, I'm in the truck or whatever, I can manipulate the gun all around the truck without bumping it or anything, because it is so short and compact. So I really like that about it. And one other thing I really love about this gun is, you know what they've done? They've finally gone from dovetail to Picatinny. Thank you so much. Picatinny to me is just much easier to work with, because all my other guns are Picatinny, but all the P15s I have a dovetail, and they've now moved that up here, and I'm so happy to see that going on. The next thing I'm going to be doing after this box opening is I'm going to go out and I'm going to fill this gun. I'm going to clean this gun, and we're going to put a scope on it, and we're going to see how accurate it is at different distances. But let me just say this to you guys, any of you guys who buy a new gun. People have done that. They bought the gun and said, this thing has a serious leak. When you buy a new gun and you fill it for the first time, you got to cock it to get that hammer off the sear. Because if you don't get that hammer off of it, it's pushing it in, and the air is just going to escape. You're going to hear, and you think it's broken. Cock it. Move that thing back. It'll fill right up for you. Second thing, big mistake people make is not cleaning this thing. You got to put a bunch of patches through here. Because most of the time, these gun manufacturers, they don't know if this gun going to sit on the shelf for a day, or if it's going to sit on there for a year. And they don't know what the environment is going to be like. Will it be in a situation where there's high humidity? If so, it's going to rust. So they pack this. They rub this thing down. And they really pack that barrel with some thick grease, from what I found. And you got to get all that out of it. You got to put patch after patch through it until that patch comes out white. If you don't do that, it can mess up the accuracy. And I know people that have gotten guns and say, "Oh, this thing is accurate at all," but they never cleaned it, and it does affect accuracy. So with that, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the camera position, and we're going to take a look at this box and see what's in it and talk a little bit about that. Then later on, in a video upcoming soon, hopefully, I'll be doing a field testing of this thing. We'll take it out to the range, and we'll shoot it out to 50 yards. I don't shoot 177 past 50. I know that people shoot it 100 yards. That little pellet can be affected by a breeze at 50 yards, let alone 100. So there's no point in me being out there playing around trying to prove something on a 177 that don't need to be proven. So with that, let me change the camera angle. Let's take a look at this thing. All right, let's do that. Okay, we're back, and let's take a look at what's in the box. Okay, I'll just pull things out and we'll talk about them. But it looks like it comes with 500 piece pellets, a bag of goodies, and of course, the box over here, and of course the item itself, the P35. Let me take this tag off here. This is just a whole bunch of warnings that says only used under supervision of adults and all that things. Those disclaimers to keep them from getting sued, I guess. But anyway, here it is. And I'm telling you, this gun here is light. I really like the feel of this. It's kind of like almost feel rubberized a bit. And here's the cocking lever. I had already cocked it one time, fire it, try it again. Hey, pretty smooth, pretty smooth. We'll check out more of that later. See what all comes in the bag now here, okay? We have 500 rounds of pellets, as I said. I'll try them just to let you know how they shoot. All my guns in 177, they love, and I've been pushing that for a long time, the ATN Hunters, the hollow points, 10.5 grains. Let's take a look at what's in here. Okay. This tool here, you use this tool here to take the front off this thing in case you have to ever change any O-rings in this cylinder here. So that's a cylinder head screw. It takes that off. Then it gives you all of the little Allen wrenches that you need for working on the gun. So when you get that, you already got all the tools you need to work on your gun. And of course the magazine. Matter of fact, it gives you 4 tools. Huh? So there are all the tools right there you need to work on the gun. And I'll get a close-up of this just so you can see it a little bit better. Just give me a moment. Okay, we're zoomed in now, and as you can see, you got 4 Allen wrenches. Got the pellets, and let me tell you, these are 177 8.33 grains, which is a little bit light for me. Like I said, I like the 10.5s. You got 1 field probe. You have, of course, the one magazine. I will be ordering another one of those because I did notice one thing: these magazines are not interchangeable with the others. The others drop down in. This thing here slides in the side and slides out. So I'll have to get another one of those. It's not interchangeable with the other. And of course the cylinder wrench. And then every O-ring that's in this gun. And I always talk about this. Okay, you buy these expensive guns. and you need an O-ring. You gotta go online, you gotta buy these O-rings from them. And sometimes even the tools you have to buy from them. Okay, this little gun here, I think it's right around $460 US. Comes with all of this at that price. So let me get back the camera off and just show you what I love about these guns a little bit more. But this is everything that's in the box. Okay, we're back, and again, the P series. The thing I love about the P series is, one is this, okay? All right, I can handle this thing here with 2 fingers and a thumb. All right, it is just, I'm telling you, this is what made me fall in love with this gun. If you look at the original video I did on this gun some years ago, I said this thing was so good that I would just make a holster and just stick it in a holster and carry it around like a pistol and just pull it out when I needed it. That is the selling point of this gun. It is so light, so maneuverable, comes to the eye quickly for shooting. Just love it. And I love this little this plastic cheek piece on here. There's no metal. Your face is not against any metal here. This is a nice cheek piece. Put it right there and take your shots. But the P series, if you get any of them, if you go with the P10, and I've seen some of those out there, the P12, P15, or the P35. Now the P35 has not proven itself yet, so I can understand if you guys say, you know, you're getting ahead of yourself. I'm basing that on the other Ps that I own. I just believe in them. Now let me just say this about the shroud. Now the shroud on these things are backyard friendly, don't get me wrong. But they have a metal shroud in here. I did a video on how to make this shroud much quieter, just with a little hack. You can go and check that video out, and it will tell you. But that's what I'm gonna do with this gun. I don't think I'm gonna go out and buy another shroud for it. I think that I'm not gonna get an aftermarket. I think I'm just gonna go in here and take this thing, put some do the exact same thing I did in the video, and just make it a little bit more quiet, because it's already backyard friendly. If I can quiet it down a little bit, why not? So we'll do that to get it a little bit more quiet. But for right now, let's just see. I could take that all day. I could take that all day. But like I said, I will do a little bit to this, trick it out a little bit more. But as far as not having to paint this thing, oh man, I don't have to paint it. It's already there. For the rest of them, I bought butt plates for. I think for this I'm just gonna leave it just as it is and just shoot it this way. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. If you want to go with a butt plate and to raise this gun up, it's a nice thing because it gets the gun up a little bit higher on your shoulder and that. But I think I'm just gonna leave this with stock and just play around with this moderator a little bit. This little silencer, play around with that a little bit, but leave the rest of the gun alone. Let's just see something here. Okay, till we go. I will say that this is not as smooth or as quiet as I would like it. But I will tell you this: I think once this breaks in, I think right now some pieces are rubbing a little bit. That's going to wear down over time, and I think this thing is going to get. I think this thing is going to get very quiet on the cocking, but it feels good. And as I said, what I like is this. This is the other gun. Pow! Got to reach all the way back here, past my face, and bring it back here. Pow! Now I can go boom, 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 boom. I like that. So another gun. So what I'm going to do next now is I'm going to go ahead and put I don't have a scope here for it, so I got to order a scope for it. And of course, I don't have to tell you what scope I'm going to order for it. So I'm not going to even get into that, because you watch any of my videos, you know I only use one scope. And I love that scope, and I'll be using it forever until they stop making it. For the money, as I said in the videos I've done in the past, for the money is the best scope out there. I checked it out. And for me, for the money, it's just the scope I'm going to stay with. I don't need to go out and spend $400 or $500 for the scope, and this scope has been working just that well for me. It's clear as heck for all my videos, as you guys can see. So with that, the next time you see the next installment on this thing, I will be taking it out and we'll be testing it out to 50 yards to see how the accuracy is. Over time using it, if I run into any problems, difficulty with it, I will come on and do a video immediately for those of you who may be purchasing this thing. And we'll keep you up to date on what's going on with it. And then once we notice this thing is proven to itself that it is accurate at 50 yards in, to the degree that my P15 is, the next thing you'll see is getting birds on the farm. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. You guys out there, I know those guys of you who are critical saying, Aaron, I know you're going to get another gun. Yeah, I got another gun. So you go ahead and write in the comments and dog will say you were right and I was wrong and all that kind of stuff. And I'll just smile with you and we'll just go on, okay? So with that, I'm going to close this video down and say thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I would really, really appreciate if you guys would share this with any people you know that love air guns. And that would really help my channel out. So with that, say good day to you and good hunting, and just keep it safe and let's keep on enjoying this as long as we can. Have a good one, guys.